Nick, one thing, if you can only share one thing with our audience, what would it be?
The biggest thing is take care of the customers that you already have. That's the biggest talking point that I can drive into anybody getting into e-commerce is they neglect the customer experience. They neglect the whole feeling of the website, from the website to the customer support, from customer support to actually receiving the product, right? That's a whole feedback loop that people don't take into consideration or even think through.
Okay, so what you're talking about is, firstly, understanding actually who is buying or who should buy.
Yes.
That is a lot about the persona, but more importantly actually about the data, sure?
Definitely.
And then build out a funnel and a whole structure to actually re-engage those people and make them buy again. If that is what you mean, what are like specific tactics that you use to do that?
For sure. So it's kind of like an offer rotation. So if you are a store with multiple products, there's complementary products that everybody usually purchases. So this is what Dimitris goes into his analytics is what is that entry product that they're trying to buy initially? Okay, and then if you map on average, what's the next product that they buy after they bought product A? What should you show in product B? So that goes into the remarketing ads on Facebook. That goes into the emails that they're going to be seeing. There's a lot of different angles that people need to understand is what's their entry point to the brand? And then at that point, you as the brand owner, the entrepreneur, what product should you offer them again to complement what they already just got?
Perfect, thank you very much. Nick Peroni, your one thing, please.
Yeah, that was fantastic. And so my one thing that I would really say, and I talk about this a lot, is I see now with so many people as they get started, they get started kind of random. Like they see this e-commerce thing, they see this trend, they want to get started, they want to have a store, they want to be making money, and they want to jump right to like the scaling, or they want to jump right to the stuff that they see is producing the high ROI in people that have been doing it for a while. But more often than not, what you're going to uncover when you talk to these, and I've analyzed and I've networked with so many people and done this myself, is that there's such a good foundation set from the beginning, right? Like you really need to have a strategy. You need to understand what the purpose is here. What is your market segment? What is your entry point into the market? And look at all these different facets and put it together as a strategy and a plan, so you know what you're trying to accomplish. What kind of targets are you setting for yourself that you're going to systematically work and try to execute on these ideas. And so I think that that's something that's kind of misunderstood a little bit now, because so many people come into this and they just look at it as like a make money online type of thing. And really you want to look at it as a business, just like any business, like really put in the time and the effort in the beginning to be putting the research in, to be looking for the trends and the opportunities in the market where you can stand out and find ways to differentiate your entire e-com business.
Very strong point, thank you for sharing that. Dimitris.
I couldn't agree more with both Nicks, because it's one of the craziest things that people come into an actual business opportunity and they don't look it as a business. Majority of the people look at this, how can I make quick cash? How can I make quick cash? And it's actually really funny because I'm sharing in my slides, in my presentations, I share one slide and I say this is what 90% of dropshippers do. You're here, you are on a date with your girl, and another pretty girl passes by, and you're like, pretty girl.
Not a good idea.
Not a good idea, and this is what 90% of the people who enter in this business, especially in the dropshipping, do. Like they just acquire the customer, the date, the girl, and they say, oh, thank you very much, let me go look for someone else. So my one tip was to focus a little bit more on your backend, because when you have the most difficult part is to acquire a customer, is how to buy a customer. And then when you bring your customer in, you can sell to him again and again and again.
Right.
And if you focus, as Nick said, in your customer experience and giving them an amazing customer experience and not taking like 40 days in order to receive the product, and not for them having to send you an email, hey dude, where's my stuff, where's my product?
Right. Never happens with dropshipping.
No, never, only 4,000 times per day. I think even more. So if you focus in giving an amazing customer experience to the people who trusted you, okay, they will give you, it will be much more easier to give you again their money again and again and again. Sure. And there are literally thousands of ways to do that. You have messenger marketing, you have email marketing, you have branding ads, you have Instagram, you have influencers. It's way easier to convince someone to buy from you again if you gave them an amazing customer experience.
Right, right. I couldn't agree more on that. I have one last question for you three. So, as you mentioned, a lot of people are entering this industry actually, and as you also mentioned, there is a lot of things that you should do to actually drive up that customer lifetime value, re-engage people, and sell more to them. The question then, of course, is if you're new to that business, where do you actually start?
For me, it's very, very simple. You start with Nick Peroni. I'm not even kidding, because the dude, Nick understands the beginning of where you need to be mentally. Because again, where I spend a lot of my time is, yes, I have new entrepreneurs, I have great new products off Kickstarter or Indiegogo, and they have an idea of who their persona really is. And this is talking about people that are building businesses. They have an idea, but they haven't validated that idea because they are basing it on assumptions that the market is showing them. To sum it up, where I'm getting started on getting my e-commerce businesses, is I'm jumping into these groups, I'm asking the questions. A lot of people don't ask the questions because they're embarrassed, because they're supposed to know this stuff.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to know this stuff? This e-commerce and growing a business was very foreign a long time ago when you didn't have digital. How do you think they figured it out?
Thanks, man. That's amazing. Yeah, so no pressure, huh? All right, so that is so important for me in getting started is just taking the time to do the research. Because if you look at it, so many people are always like, well, what niche is profitable? And people get started, they come into the group, they're like, man, just tell me a niche that is profitable, when in reality, we all know the profitable niches. They're huge, they're out there, they're multi-billion-dollar categories like health and beauty and fitness and cars, and like these are huge categories that are never going anywhere. They're always going to be profitable and things that anybody can get into. You can go to AliExpress or Amazon and see the main selling categories. So it's not really about what niche is going to be profitable, but like where can I add value into a subset of a market that I can really like understand, and I can find the value propositions that are going to make sense. And of course, that's kind of subjective on a level, but because we're like, well, where are the winning products? But that's what makes a winning product, right? I think that's what a lot of people miss, is you really need to understand the value proposition if you want to do this and be good at it consistently. And so you want to start looking at like actual marketing principles and doing the research and looking for these trends and opportunities, and then like he mentioned, validating them, understanding how you validate a niche, how you validate a product, what makes this product sell, what makes it interesting to people, that makes them want to buy it.
Right.
If I were just to start out, I would really focus on one person, if that would be Nick, and I would follow exactly what he said and be consistent and not being afraid to lose money. Like, people want only to make money, and I was like that in the beginning too. Nobody likes to lose money, but in order to get the reward, you have to play something.
Thank you so much, guys. That was amazing.